Alright, hello again everyone. So we have quite a few improvements, and we have some walls. We have the weapon bouncing from the walls, and you can see the walls here. They just have the mesh render closed right now. They have a box collider and they have a wall tag, and that's to help the weapon bounce from the walls. And this is the current situation right now. The weapon bounces, we can catch it, we can throw it again, and if we miss it, if I can miss it, yeah, if we miss it for 6 seconds for now, and it's right here on the weapon, sorry, there we go, the weapon lifetime is 6 seconds, and if we miss it, we get it back in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, the penalty time. There you go. It's gone, it's bouncing off the walls, and it's coming back, and it's gone. We missed it, we couldn't catch it, and it's back, and we can throw it again. But there is a slight problem with this. If we throw the weapon inside a wall, it just goes off the map. We don't want that, obviously. If we stand to the side and throw the weapon, it just gets stuck. We can pick it up again, but it acts kind of weird, so we need to solve these issues somehow. I'll look into them later on. And currently we have a lot of improvements on the script, and here we have the attack method changed. Instead of instantiating the weapon, we just have a weapon in the game scene here as inactive. When the game starts, it goes inactive, and then we get the weapon into position with this method right here. We bring it into the fire points position. If you remember, we have a fire point in front of the character. It's right here. Let me zoom in. Right here. That's where the weapon teleports itself each time we fire, and afterwards we activate the weapon. Then we add a force to it, and then we activate this lose weapon script, which closes the dummy weapon on the character, which is this little weapon here on the side, this guy. We inactivate it, and after that we move on to the weapon script right here, and we have some new scripts on the weapon. First of all, after we throw it, it just spins around itself. We record its velocity to bounce it off the walls. We don't use the physics, because when you use the physics, this happens. They kinda get crazy sometimes. Well, you can lock constraints. There we go, on the rigid body. You can freeze the position, freeze the rotation, which I have here, but it doesn't help with the speed loss. When the weapon bounces off the walls without a script, it just loses its speed and it gets slower, which is not really bad, but it's not really what we want. We want the weapon to just bounce with full speed. I think that would be a better mechanic, because we got kind of a huge map here. We can of course make it smaller, but I kind of intend to add in some obstacles that come and go in time, and add in a lot of creatures, and we want the game to go on as long as it possibly can, which is why we changed the instantiation script for the weapon. We don't want to lose memory over time. Here we have an eye enumerator to destroy weapon, but this doesn't exactly destroy the weapon, it actually inactivates it. So when we throw the weapon, this eye enumerator starts counting for 6 seconds, as I've shown here, for the weapon lifetime. After that we zero out the velocity of the weapon, because if you don't and you inactivate the weapon with the velocity on it, you activate it and you add force to it when you fire the weapon, the weapon goes into a weird direction So that's fixed, and we have this on collision enter script here, which is actually the wall bounce script for the weapon. And I got this script from a video on YouTube, which the link should be on the right side. This script basically bounces the weapon from the wall towards the normal side, and after that I've implemented a safeguard script to catch the weapon back if you somehow couldn't catch it and it's gone, it's deactivated. How it works is kind of complicated. It took a lot of time to make it, but basically what we do is after we throw the weapon and fail to catch it, this eye illuminator gets into action. It counts down for a penalty time that we choose, and then it activates the catch weapon script, which is basically the same with catching the weapon with a collision right here. The way it works is when the weapon is deactivated after the weapon lifetime is over, it has an on disable script here, and the on disable script says to the character controller script that it had failed to catch the weapon. And then we go to the character control script and find the fail to catch the weapon method. It checks if the weapon is thrown. If it is, it starts the coroutine to restore the weapon, which basically waits for a while and then catches the weapon. And that's it. And on the upcoming video I plan on making some improvements with the movement, because I'm really not happy with this movement here. The way the character moves, kind of weird. It's kind of hard to control. I'm gonna add some joysticks in the middle. I'm planning to add a separate joystick for the weapon throw effect. Since I want the game to be able to be played with only one finger, I come up with an idea to work around that. So you use the joystick to move, then you pull an empty part on the screen, and if you have the weapon in your hands, it activates the slow time effect. It will slow time, you will aim, fire, and then when you release, you will be able to move again. So exciting times are up ahead. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video.